We've talked about the power of our thoughts and how it creates our reality, and how the voices coming at us create our thoughts. So the voices in our head create our reality. People talking to us, our friends and family members, helps us create our reality if we accept it as true. And then people we give authority over us, maybe our bosses. But can we please wake up to the information overload and what we are actually believing as true? We've become a world of information, overwhelm. I don't know about you, but all of it coming at us all the time. And we just believe it without even questioning it. Think about that. We don't sit down and decide, I believe that to be true. No, that doesn't sound right. We just accept things as true. A headline lands, bam, it's true. A confident voice says something with just enough certainty, bam, it's true. A post shows up from someone who sounds like one of us, someone we respect, and bam, it's true. We didn't choose it, we just keep absorbing it. We're like, that makes sense, that's true. Now, that is biology. It feels good at the moment, so it must be true, right? I'm guilty of it myself. But see, our brains aren't built with fact checkers. They're built to keep us moving. When new information shows up, we're wired to understand it and act on it, not to stop and ask if it's actually true. And the researchers who study this say it plainly. We focus on figuring out what something means and what to do next. We almost never stop and ask, wait, is this for real? Is this true, really? So when something's false but believable, we file it as a fact. Automatically. We didn't decide on it. It just got in there. But this is what we should pay attention to. We're far more likely to believe something when it comes from people we already see, people we already know. Whether it's in our group, a professional that we've liked to watch and listen to, a source that feels credible to us. Not because it's true necessarily, but it's familiar, because they are familiar. And familiar is safe, right? And safe feels true. Those aren't the same things though, right? That's why I encourage you to watch who you put your belief in. That's huge. The who is put above the what are they saying. We let our guard down all the way for the voices that feel like home. And that's exactly where the false stuff walks right in. Maybe we're too tired to analyze it or fact check it. Oh, that makes sense. It's true. And when we're wound up and moving fast, spinning all the time, our nerves are on edge, we're stressed, we fall for it even more. The louder the world gets, the worse our filter works, right? Oh, fine, that's true. So right when you need to think clearly, we're the least able to. Once again, you have heard it before. It's the nervous system doing exactly what it's built to do. In a world it was never built for. We're not built for all this overwhelm. It's not meant for this much data coming at us. But here's the part we need to pay attention to. Once a false thought gets in, I get passionate about this. Once a false thought gets in, it doesn't just leave when you find out the truth. Researchers call this continued influence effect. You can learn that something is wrong, not along the way, agree with it out loud that it's wrong, and still make decisions based on it. Crazy, right? What we believe leaves a mark in us until we truly remove it. So where we put our belief is not a small thing. It's a lasting impact. So what do we do about it? Maybe a magic word. 3 words, 1 habit. We pause before we believe it, before we share it, before we let it in all the way. And here's what I love. The people who do this for a living, the fact checkers, the researchers, the ones who untangle the truth from false all day long, the very first step they teach isn't investigate. It isn't research. It's stop. Literally stop. Oh, that sounds like pause. Notice the reaction first. The headline that makes you furious, the post that makes you want to hit share before you've even finished reading it, that heat, that excitement, it's not proof that it's true. It's just supporting what you might already believe is true. That's the signal to pause. Take a moment. Think about what you're believing in, what you're about to share. This is pause, breathe, proceed. And it doesn't only work on a hard day or a hard conversation. It works on a headline. Anything coming at you, pause. Interrupt that autopilot that says, believe it now. Breathe. We belly breathe. Get yourself out of that spin, that spiral, where everything false looks true. And then proceed. And only then you decide, have you done your research? Is it true? Who's telling me this? Where did it actually come from? Is anyone I genuinely trust saying the same thing? Do your research. Heck, fact check with AI if you have to. Make them cite the source. I'm not going to hand you a fact-checking flowchart here today. That's not the point. The point is the pause. The half second before you believe something is true. Because a pause isn't a hesitation. A pause is power. It's the moment we stop absorbing everything the world is throwing at us and we start choosing what we let land in our heart and in our mind. We become a world of information. Some of it good, some of it false. And we don't get to control what shows up. It's all coming at us. But we can absolutely get to choose what we believe as true. And who we hand that belief to, that's a lot of power over us. So watch where you put it. Watch who you give that power over to. Pause and breathe and then proceed with truth. Don't get too tired to make sure what you're absorbing is the truth. A pause can change everything, even what's true for you. You might find out something you believe in is no longer true, and that will shift your whole energy system. I had someone who wanted to connect with me. On paper, everything I looked at looked good. He was a pastor. He was saying all the right words. But at the end of the day, after digging, a little bit judgy. Someone I did not want my business to be associated with. Because I personally love everyone. It's who I am. We should love, not judge, right? Ask the questions. Be that person who cares what you put in your heart and your head, because that will shape who you become. And I want you to be the best version of you ever. This is Karen Wright with Pause, Breathe, Proceed. 3 words, 1 habit. Because why? A pause can change everything. It's time for a new way of living with a new way of thinking. Peace out. Love to all.